Hey everyone, it is Sean and Dave here from Saturday Morning Cartoons. We want to thank the following people for going to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Cartoons and supporting our show. So a huge thank you to Derek Haynes,
Dr. Jason Woods,
Jamal Newman,
Melanie Harker,
Allison Keene,
the one and only Sean Paul Ellis,
and the amazing Dave Trumbore.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, it might sound kind of weird that we are thanking some familiar people and ourselves in this list, but we want to let you listeners out there know that we are not just asking you to support us through Patreon. We are actually putting our hard-earned dollars into the show as well. So we just want to say thank you to those who have supported, and for anyone who can't but would like to help out the show in some way, feel free to share our Patreon page within your social media circles. It would really help a lot.
So thank you guys. We appreciate you going to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Cartoons to sponsor and support our podcast. And now, on with the show.
Hello and welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoons, the weekly podcast that revisits, reviews, and ridicules some of the world's weirdest animated series. Coming to you from Ponyland, I'll be your noble steed, Dave Trumbore. Joining me as always from our stable of stallions is Sean Paul Ellis. How's it going?
David, I'm doing well, buddy. How about yourself?
I'm doing just fine. Just a couple of stallions out here on the plains, stomping around, whatever ponies do.
Yeah, we are just ponying around right now.
yes, we're ponying around.
Ponying around. But you know, a bunch of stallions. That's not fair. That's not an equal balance in this veritable barnyard pony that we have that's in Ponyland. So we should bring in another horse to join us this week.
These horse metaphors are going to get a little tough. By the way,
terrible.
A fair warning.
God, female horses are called fillies, correct?
I'd go filly. Filly's fine.
Or a mare.
Or a mare?
A filly,
go mare or filly?
A filly is more...
like the younger...
Yeah, it's more flattering, I think.
Yeah, mare's like that...
The old gray mare.
Old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be. Clearly, we're not talking about that.
Wow, that was an awkward silence from the two of you. Hey, Allison Keene is joining the show.
I haven't been introduced yet.
No.
Welcome, Allison. It's great to have you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited that we're talking about My Little Pony. This is one of my favorite cartoons from my childhood.
I have a question for you. So why do we only bring you on to talk about like cute animal kids cartoon?
Because I was a cute kid and I watched cute animal cartoons.
Oh, fair enough. We've had you on for, Noozles and the Adventures of the Little Koala. Is that correct?
Yes, actually, I did some other ones.
And then,
Legend of Zelda.
Oh, David the Gnome.
David the Gnome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Legend of Zelda, because we wanted to do the, well, excuse me, princess.
That doesn't quite jibe with the rest of the cute animals in the forest thing, but we'll go with it, I guess.
Link was cute.
Yeah, you did like Link.
Yeah.
Maybe he was for all intents and
crush.
purposes. Yeah. Well, he was kind of a dumb animal in a majority of that cartoon.
Yeah, fair. There you go. That connects it.
Interesting.
So you join us for the dumb animal arc.
Yeah, I don't like that maybe as much as the cute small animal
We'll work on it.
ones, but sure.
But yeah, so My Little Pony Tales tonight. Now we know bronies and non-bronies alike out there. There's a lot of My Little Pony stuff going, and we're gonna get to it all at some point if we can convince Sean to come along for the ride. But for tonight, we're going to talk My Little Pony Tales. So if you need a little bit of a refresher on where exactly that came from, what time frame we're talking about, Sean is going to give us a little bit of history on the background here.
Let's get into this. My Little Pony Tales is an American animated television series produced by Sunbow Productions and Graz Entertainment. Animation produced by ACOM and based on the My Little Pony toys by Hasbro. It ran weekly on the Disney Channel from August to December 25th, 1992 for a total of 26 episodes. The series also aired in syndications starting in 1993. It has been released on DVD in Australia, Europe, and unfortunately the United States. I'm kidding, Allison.
I want to jump in and say for the youngins out there that at this time in the early 90s, the Disney Channel was a premium network like HBO or Showtime or Starz. Like you had to pay to watch the Disney Channel.
Yeah, not premium like quality, premium like you said. It was like gated access to these cartoons.
It was like pay-per-view Disney. And so what they would do is run previews over certain weekends and stuff. You would have like preview weekends.
That's right.
And so that's where I watched all of their content, because until it was part of a regular cable package, I just watched the previews. And I guess I saw ponies and I think gummy bears.
Probably,
and
yeah.
There were a couple others. Yeah.
You were like the original binge watcher then on Disney Preview Weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
I've always, definitely.
Like 10-year-old Allison Keene just with like cans of Coke and gummy bear. I don't know what'd you use for your 48-hour binge watch of Disney programming.
My mom tells a story about when I had some Easter candy, and one of these little containers had like little duckies, like little bunnies, like
the Peeps?
No, they were chocolate.
Oh.
They're chocolate. Anyways, 3 different little ones, and anyways, this whole thing, and somehow I got into it or had it,
stash.
And I was watching TV, and she comes in, and like there are no more chocolates. I'm covered in chocolate. And she just says, "Allison, did you eat all of that?" And I just stared at her. Like I had no...
She was in a diabetic coma at that point.
I knew that I was trapped. And I was in a pony coma.
Yep.
And I was just on a sugar high. And I mean, it was a great time from what it seemed like. So,
I gotta say...
That was me watching Disney in 92.
I gotta say, Pony Coma is my favorite episode of My Little Ponytails. And Sugar High is my favorite pony.
Pony Coma is actually a great band name.
It is a really good band name, actually.
Ooh, that is a fun band name. I like that a lot.
Pony Coma. Yeah.
Mark that one down. Listeners out there, Pony Coma. If you're wondering what My Little Pony Tales is actually about, however, I'm going to try to get into the synopsis here. Let's see how it goes. So this series follows 7 young female ponies, also known as fillies, who live in Ponyland, a society of anthropomorphic ponies. The girl ponies are Starlight. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be saying it like all condescending. This is weird already. The girl ponies are Starlight, Sweetheart, Melody, Bright Eyes, Patch, Clover, and Bonbon. This is a contrast from the previous series, which involved ponies and humans. They live like humans as they attend school, frequent the local ice cream shop, enter talent contests, and even roller skate, and they also use currency, from what I'm told.
They run small businesses.
They run small businesses. They're very fiscally responsible ponies.
The dad had a cash register on his back
we have
buttocks.
Got to get into these cutie marks.
Oh boy!
All right, hang in there.
That's what they're called. Yeah. Cutie marks.
There's a history to that. We'll get into that.
My god!
All right. Some of the girl ponies begin to show romantic interest in the male ponies, Teddy, Ace, and Lancer. They even go on dates with them. At least one song is performed by the ponies in every episode. There you go. Synopsis: My Little Ponytails.
So, just in reference to the cutie marks,
yeah.
That's a little stamp that they have on their little bums, and evidently they used to not have a name, because you just accepted this was like a part of the pony, My Little Pony culture. But evidently in the last 2 iterations of My Little Ponies, they have come to be called cutie marks.
Cutie marks. So are they retroactively now all known as cutie marks?
I believe so, yeah.
Interesting.
And that they manifest based on, personality and talents.
Now, there's one of my burning questions for all things My Little Pony. Are ponies born with these, or is it like a brand from like a rancher? Like, it seems like it would be a thing that like it distinguishes you, but it also seems not natural to me.
I think it comes up like a birthmark.
So like if I had a birthmark of a cash register that showed up on my left hindquarter,
then you would become a merchant, because that is your destiny. You are fated the pony world.
I don't know how I feel about this. I'm kind of like, it's kind of cool from a design standpoint, and we'll talk about that more when we get to the characters in a second here, but it's kind of messed up. It's kind of messed up, I'm going to say.
Well, all right. I'm dealing with this right now.
What's up, buddy? Lay it on us.
It's the idea that like we might perceive this sort of destiny referring to the cutie mark as something that really kind of like locks them in place, but it seems as if for the ponies that are in Ponyland that they're pretty accepting and they're pretty okay with the things that are there. And so I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying my hardest to put aside any preconceived notions that I have about My Little Ponies for this and take it relatively seriously. And also because this is Allison's favorite show, I do want to be respectful towards our guests.
I had so many My Little Ponies. But that's the thing. It's just another show based on a toy.
Yeah, so, Hasbro. Well done, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, so they've just created mythology out of, a sparkle pony doll.
I love that. And I think the cutie marks were like, were they stickers? Do you remember if they were stickers on the original ponies?
There were many different ways to have the cutie marks on these little ponies, right? Some of them were stickers. Some were like they would show up in the sun.
Whoa.
Some you would like, they might reveal themselves underwater.
What?
So
Whoa.
there are like different things that,
That's legit. I like that.
Yeah, the cutie marks became like,
Like the heat things from the old battle beasts.
Because and that brings up a great point, because the Transformers had those little heat activated decals that were on them as well. And especially in the 80s and the early 90s, Allison, like I'm trying to remember, like aside from Barbie, I'm really trying to think of other like women's toys, like toys for kids, like girls' toys that would have been available during that time, that people would have played with. Like,
well, I mean, yeah, Barbies was a big one. I was really into like the Barbies and My Little Ponies, but then they also had the American Girl dolls. Mm-hmm. They had Care Bears.
Care Bears were kind of like gender neutral, I felt.
Popples
were sort of gender
neutral until they came up with like the sports one, and we're like, these are now for boys. But
yeah, no, My Little Pony was, I mean, it was huge. Yeah. It was everywhere.
Still is.
Yeah, and it was, as like a girl specific toy, definitely. Yeah, that and Barbie would have been the biggest.
Yeah,
I will definitely admit that as a kid in the 80s, I had a My Little Pony.
Interesting.
It was something where like I was in I think it was a white one, and it had like a unicorn thing on top of it.
That's like a special one.
I don't remember what it was, but it was something where like I was in a toy aisle, and my mom was like, "You can have whatever you want, like within reason." And so I picked that one thing, and she's like, I remember distinctly sort of getting like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And she's like, no reason.
Everything's fine. Just
wanted to verify.
Sean's just like trailblazing.
I love
like
that
gender neutral toys.
Sean went for a My Little Pony unicorn. I think I went for the gun that turns into 7 different guns. When I was a kid, it was called the Eliminator, and I loved that thing. And I got it for Christmas.
I liked robots and stuff.
Yeah.
I had a little robot, but anyway, I had a bunch of My Little Ponies. Though this is the point, I had quite a few.
The Pony Robot Wars of 1993 was an epic clash.
You know what? I have seen a cyborg My Little Pony, and now I can't remember under what context.
like a fever dream, or like an actual thing that exists.
I think somebody made like people would mod them.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh my
God.
A
Terminator.
Yeah, like a Terminator pony.
Because correct me if I'm wrong. So thinking about the original toy, Allison, really the only point of articulation was sort of just the neck. Like in the original ones, just the neck would kind of move back and forth, but the body was sort of, because it was the same body that they would use for every single pony, just with a different cutie mark.
Right. They had accessories too.
And different color hair.
Yeah, they could have like a little saddle or some little shoes.
Yeah.
But some of them had, you could like squeeze it and its tail would flip around. Oh no, wait. The one that...
There was like a dial, you said?
Yeah, there was a dial you would twist, and then the tail would spin. And then I had another one that you could squeeze, and its little wings would kind of flutter.
I think if you squeeze the legs together, maybe the wings would flap or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. So
just like a real horse.
Yeah. That's how else you get
Full
horses
disclosure,
to fly.
I'm scared of horses. So I know nothing about horses.
Because he tried squeezing their legs together when he was a kid.
So some of them
That's all it takes.
Yeah, there was that, like the practical stuff. But then, with the cutie marks, sometimes you would get the heat activation or the water activation. Or so they would have different. And also, like I said, accessories. They'd have little crowns or little, like, sort of like Barbies have accessories and stuff.
Or like combs. Didn't they have a lot of combs with the mane?
They had a lot of combs.
There were so many combs.
I think the one that I had came with like 3 combs alone. And I was like, that's incredible.
See, everyone loves My Little Pony.
They're for everyone. They teach you how to groom your horse.
They teach you about pollution too.
Oh my God, I can't wait to get into some of these plots.
But before we do heavy-handed manner.
Before we do that, hey, I loved it though. I actually thought they did a good job with the storytelling in these.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Let's talk about the theme song first.
Sure.
Iconic.
Allison's going to go first and talk about the theme song.
I know. I want her to because I want to cue this up because I want to hear this theme song.
I have never forgotten it.
Nope.
I still sing it randomly.
Yep.
Yes.
Throughout the years.
Occasionally in different styles.
I have actually, I've actually created some tracks that are pretty dark with it.
Yeah.
And
like how dark? Let's get into that. That's very interesting to me.
Like
think like a heavy driving kind of bass line.
So, something sort of The Cure, like certain junctures.
Like a She Wants Revenge kind of My Little Ponies. Is that the name of the band?
She Wants Revenge. Well, but I mean like The Cure, like Robert Smith. Like that's not going to be. That's kind of like that's emo before it was emo.
Right.
Like, that's kind of brooding My Little
Yeah,
Pony.
a little brooding pony.
A little brooding.
Yeah,
brooding
definitely.
Brooding pony.
Bon Bon's still making cookies, girls, but they're
Hurry up on over.
they're like real dark. They're like
Yeah.
they're like double chocolate. You're not gonna feel good about yourself in the morning.
Well, we'll talk about Bon Bon too in regards to the Cutie Mark's fate and career choices.
Specifically, yeah.
So table that for now. But yeah, I think the theme song, I mean, so it's one of those that explains the world a little bit.
Yep.
You know, it shows that they are anthropomorphic. They get up, they go to school, they go to the ice cream shop, they hang out. They're just like cool friends doing stuff. And it's really catchy. And it's
super catchy.
Super catchy. And it names all the ponies. So you learn all their names. And also it helps differentiate them because they do look very, very similar. And without their little cutie marks, it's hard to tell sometimes which one is which.
She cued me into that. So like the theme song has a roll call, which we like in the theme songs when they actually show like the character with the name doing a thing that character does. That's great. But she cued me in that like the cutie marks also remind you of who that character is and what they do. So if there's a character that has like a dessert thing on its butt, that's Bon Bon.
Clover has a clover.
Clover has a clover.
Patch has a patch.
Patch has what looks like a Raggedy Ann and Andy patch sewn onto her hindquarters, which is fine, I guess, for her.
Melody has music notes.
Yeah.
Etc.
Bright Eyes has a notebook for some reason, so it led to me just calling her Notebook Horse for a while. But yeah, so I mean that I liked the visuals that went along with the song. The song's great. It's very catchy. You can remember it 20 some years later.
Mm-hmm.
But it also teaches you like who these characters are and what they're about to get up to. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Sean?
You know, nothing, I agree with everything that you said, and nothing feels more late 80s, early 90s than ponies and leg warmers doing aerobics towards the very end of it.
Every time she'd laugh when that scene came up.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
It's very
circle.
distinct.
Pony size.
Toner
size.
Maybe not pony size.
Maybe not pony size. Maybe not pony size.
We'll go past that one.
There's a lot of stuff, but it's very weird because these ponies, despite having qualities of the 80s and early 90s, seem to really lead a life that is a 1950s sensibility.
It is a weirdly
which is kind of interesting
like
to
isolated,
me.
Small town kind of. We'll get into that maybe with some of the plot and stuff too, but
sort of the whole kind of like it felt with the
ice cream shop
at that period of time. The ice cream shop, the resurgence of like real small businesses and stuff like that. The isolated backwaters town, and you're just kind of like, what is going on here?
Where
like,
everything's
this
named
is a Ponyland.
The same thing.
Yeah, everything. I'm waiting for like the pony president to come at some point and just be like, we need to unite all of Ponyland. And I don't know why he talks like that.
The ponies live in like a utopian socialist society, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
well, they do have
currency
and commerce.
Yeah. But I mean, I didn't see those ponies pay for any of those.
I don't think they paid taxes. I don't think there was a tax attorney pony. There was an arithmetic pony. I don't think there was a taxman pony.
Well, I think Taxman Pony must have been the dad that we saw in the Slumber Party episode. The cash register.
Mm-hmm.
That dad is questionable, by the way.
There were a lot of things that were questionable. There were a lot of questions that I have going on there.
Anything else from the theme song?
No.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else
catchy.
from it. Yeah. No, it just did a great job at setting up the show, and it really helps to separate which show you're about to watch. Because if you watched, like we said in the synopsis or the history, there was a previous iteration of My Little Ponies, but it was ponies as more like, they look more realistic. They look like more realistic horses, not as cartoony as these are, but they existed alongside humans.
Yeah, they repeat My Little Pony Tails quite a bit.
Yeah, Tails. This is very specific.
My Little Pony,
My Little Pony.
Yep. My Little Pony Tails.
Tails.
Yes.
This is Tails. So speaking of Tails, let's get into the animation style of this thing and how these critters are kind of designed, what the world around them is like, how their personalities, well, not the personalities yet, we'll get to that in the characters, but Allison, what struck you about the animation style?
Well, it's super cute.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that, well, several things. One is that they all have distinct hairstyles, which is pretty impressive for 7 ponies.
Plus adult ponies, plus dude ponies,
boy ponies, and they're very visually distinct. You
Yes.
can tell the difference between girls and the boys, the kids and the adults. Yeah, and also I think that like the way that they anthropomorphize them, like they are clearly ponies.
Yeah.
And they're very much like, you know them, but they act and look like little kids, and it works. Like, I don't know, it just it doesn't work so much for you?
I just there are times when I have questions because it's like, yeah, we can sit on a bar stool and eat a banana split with our hands and using a spoon and everything, but then we don't get on all fours to like run across the street to somebody else's house. So it's just it's weird.
They drive.
Sometimes
they're not savages.
Sometimes they drive.
Boy.
I have questions.
A lot of questions about that.
But it's just funny to watch them go from like and like flawlessly, like without pause. They go from like a bipedal stance to just like on all fours, just running through a meadow like it's no big deal. And I guess if I was a pony, anthropomorphic pony, I would have no problem making that switch.
I think there's something about just like little girls love ponies. Little girls maybe want to be ponies. So this is like the perfect marriage of like girl and pony.
I wouldn't even limit it to little girls. I mean, maybe in the 80s, 90s, yeah, but even these days.
Well, for My Little Pony Tales, it's
yeah.
clearly geared towards girls and the whole like friendship and slumber parties and whatever. These episodes that we watched, which we won't get into too much yet, but they don't include the boy ponies too much and what's going on with them. But yeah, I mean, animation wise, like I mean, it's distinct to me just because in my memory everything is like that Lisa Frank pink, purple, yellow,
kind of
bright
coloring.
Yes. Everything is very bright. Even in the episodes we watched again, there weren't villains, so nothing was dark. Even when they had like the scary story, it was still cute. It still starred a cute tiny pony, and
even a ghost pony,
a cute little ghost pony as well. So I don't know. And they look just like the toys. I mean, it's which was smart for them to make them look exactly like toys. Yeah. How about you, Sean?
It's watching this, it was very, very classic Sunbow. Now we've watched a couple other Sunbow cartoons.
What are some of the other ones?
We've watched Visionary Knights of the Magical Light,
which is like way different.
It was only about maybe like 6 years prior to this.
But like a very different everything as compared to this.
Like very, very different. But I mean, like I think about other cartoons, and this is one that we actually haven't talked about on this show. That I used to watch, which was Bucky O'Hare.
Oh, interesting. They did Bucky O'Hare?
They did Bucky O'Hare and Bucky O'Hare in the Toad Wars. And Bucky O'Hare had very, very bright colors as well. And so that was something that I feel like for a lot of Sunbow cartoons that sort of bright, very vibrant color with the obvious exception of Visionaries, Knights of the Magical Light, it's very distinct for them. But like you said, there's just tons and tons of bright colors like through and through. Even the trash was colorful that we had in certain episodes, which was very, very interesting.
It does seem like a super fun, colorful place to live. And then as far as like the production value, pretty good for the most part. There's only one real janky spot.
I know. Oh man, I know exactly the jank you're talking about.
You remember the lineup marching down the sidewalk?
Jank? That jank was that was. I think the challenging part for that was the jank. That was the final moment,
final shot of the series.
Yeah, and that was just.
It was so bad. Like that is what you're gonna leave people with. This like stutters stepped. So essentially, this has nothing to do with the plot, really. It's all the ponies all in a row, shoulder to shoulder, or whatever pony parts are called, and they're marching down the sidewalk all together. Flanks. They're marching down the street, and I think they're maybe like singing or talking to each other, whatever. And it just looked like they were like, crap, we ran out of time and frame, so we're just going to take the same snippet and then just move it back and forth a little bit and then just make it smaller.
And make it smaller.
In the background and then bring it back a little because we counted the wrong number of frames. It's the jankiest thing you'll ever see.
It's amazing.
We've seen some janky stuff on this show before, but it's almost as bad as, what was it, Berserk, when he just kind of just shuffles across the side. Anyway, that being said, the rest of it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
It was well done. And it was really entertaining to watch. You could kind of get lost in it.
It had actual storylines.
Yeah.
That played out and were resolved in ways that were actually like sometimes emotional and meaningful. Like they weren't just like ponies doing random stuff.
No.
Like, I mean, there was always, the fact that the first episode has a story within a story is already like
right, a frame story from the first episode of My Little Pony. And these episodes are only like 10, 11 minutes long, so they don't have a whole lot of time to work with. But they do a really good job.
Yeah, they and they actually build the characters in ways that you remember which ones are which. They have distinct personalities and
that's a great segue. Unless Sean, you had something to say for animation.
No, let's get into this about these characters.
Yeah. So who stood out for you, buddy? Who's your favorite?
I think probably Bon Bon because we spent so much time with her
from the episodes we watched. Yeah.
from the episodes that we watched. Melody, because just the continued kind of punk rock glam, which I felt was sort of leading into a Gem and the Hologram situation.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
And then just Patches, I guess just because her kind of like thrift store cutie mark just was so distinct.
It looked like she had a horrific injury when she was younger, and they just used like fabric to patch over a wound, and it just grew into her.
There were parts of it where like it was
she has a little ginger, little gingham patch, you know.
Yeah.
It just kind of looked like muscle striations.
Yeah, that's what I'm
like
saying.
On the back of her
a
flank.
Wound that had never healed properly.
Once you said it, I couldn't unsee it.
I know, everyone did.
Yeah, I know. Looks like somebody cut out a flank steak from the back of Patches
of another horse.
This was just like she'll be fine.
She'll be fine.
With some real weird Hellraiser My Little Pony stuff going on there.
Well, she was messing around with that puzzle box. She shouldn't have been.
You got to knock that off. Anytime you see a puzzle box, throw it on the ground, run away, guys. Don't touch it.
Just leave it. I wish I could remember the name of that thing right now, but I can't.
What?
The name of the puzzle box.
Oh, I thought it was always just called Puzzle Box.
Nah.
It has like a real name?
Yeah, it's got a name. Doesn't matter. This is Pinhead stuff. All right. Allison, who stood out to you as your favorite pony? Was it Pinhead the pony?
Oh,
no, I'm looking forward to our Hellraiser cartoon that we can talk about in the future.
I would love to watch a Hellraiser cartoon.
I know.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you guys said, in the episodes we watched, there were really only 3 ponies that had like their own storylines. Melody, Patch, and Bonbon. I mean, Bright Eyes, we got a little sense of as far as her like academia nerd thing going on. But like Starlight and Sweetheart were basically interchangeable. They didn't have anything specific going on. And Clover, I mean, to me, she stood out because she looked exactly like a My Little Pony that I had.
Oh, okay.
And so I just remember her, and that she's also the dancer, and they did play that up quite a bit.
Interesting.
But yeah, and then we didn't see the boys too much.
We didn't see Teddy or Ace, as far as I know.
We saw Lancer.
We saw Lancer,
a lot of Lancer.
who I kept calling Scout.
We saw
he had
Teddy
the Boy Scout fleur-de-lis on his.
Ace didn't make an appearance.
Teddy was the punk.
one with the mohawk.
Teddy's the punk.
Yeah, and
he's got a comb cutie mark.
He's in the theme song as well because he's
the
got the
slingshot.
Little, the slingshot.
He's a slingshot jerk. They set this pony up to be a real jerk at the beginning, back of the bus.
But he has a redemptive arc, I think.
I mean, I'm sure. Over 26 episodes?
Yeah, there's something that goes on between him and Sweetheart.
Pony drama.
Because she sees beyond this
pony drama,
this tough exterior. You know,
she sees beyond his cutie mark.
Yeah, and she gives him, gives him a chance.
The best part about this is that watching the two of you do this, Dave will cue something up and then just grins from ear to ear as Allison just looks at you and is just like, deep sigh, but here's a response.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Let me explain.
Her recovery time has gotten really good of just blowing past whatever stupid thing I say, and it's just like, please just let me explain the thing I've just been asked to explain.
Let me femsplain these ponies.
Please do. That's we don't know what we're doing here.
I have no frame of reference for any of this.
You told me they
Sean,
were flanks.
You own a pony though.
But it's a pony corn.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't honestly, I don't really remember. I remember watching the My Little Ponies and Friends, but with humans. But like, I don't remember any of the particular episodes. I didn't watch My Little Pony Tales, and so this is something where I feel like it's trying to like teach me a lesson in like every single episode about stuff. And
I'm sorry, but when Sean said he remembers watching My Little Pony with humans, I just pictured him like surrounded by humans watching.
Well, it was probably me and my sister. So
with humans, that worked.
Yeah, so she's a human.
Yep.
Well, I think people missed the reveal before the episode where Sean clarified he is not a horse.
Yeah, Sean, guys, if you've been listening for 160 episodes now, it turns out Sean is not a horse or a horseman. You're not a centaur, are you?
He didn't confirm it.
He didn't confirm that.
I am not a centaur. I wish I was a horse though, because horses will just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat to the point that they'll just die. And I'm like, I can relate to that.
Wait a minute, you took a turn there. It's not where I thought you were gonna go.
Yeah, no,
I thought you were gonna say like they could just eat everything and never like change shape, never gain weight, never lose a step.
No, last time I was on a horse, I was going down this path towards
Did it
a beach.
eat
and the horse that I was on, continued to. It kept eating all of the food. It kept eating all this like foliage that was on the side of the trail.
Yeah.
And the guy came back and was like, "Yeah, you gotta not let them do that." And I was like, "All right, but I mean, what if he's hungry?" And he's just like, "He's not. Trust me. Like they don't have that signal in their brain that tells them that they're full, so they'll just eat and eat and eat until they're dead." And I was like, "Well, I mean, that sounds pretty cool." Like, I was just like, "Let's just go down to the beach." And I'm just like, "Fair enough."
Yeah, it's a good
I
way
mean,
to
like
go.
he might have exaggerated a little bit to like really drive the point
To
home.
get you away from the poison
But mostly
oak.
like, the horses just get distracted and they just want to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Oh, I let that horse eat itself to death. I gave it its wish.
This took a really dark
Sean must have
turn.
watched different episodes than we did.
Yeah.
I just remember them chilling, eating banana splits, and being totally fine with it.
Oh man.
Not getting
Sean's
diabetes.
like, I fed my pony till it died.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like some Black Mirror stuff.
oh,
Guys, trying to understand the world of Ponyland and My Little Pony, and these are the anchor points that I have to relate to other people about horses.
Oh, I gotcha.
you.
I'll be honest with you, they're not good. I'm not happy about them. These have been poor experiences through and through.
Well, I'm glad we're watching My Little Pony Tales. That'll brighten things
Yeah,
up
I
a
know.
little bit. I
Really
actually have
trying
a
to-
question about Bon Bon before we go on to the plots here. Now, Bon Bon's interesting because she has one episode where she gets to, like, she's the center of the entire story. And we learn a lot about her personality. We'll get to that in a second. But
Right.
what I think is interesting is her cutie mark is confectionery related. Right?
And she's baking cookies. She loves to eat. She's eating all the time.
All the
She's like
time.
binging. But
Mhm.
then the question is
I can
she
relate.
purging? Because
Wow, that wasn't my question, but it is now.
she
That's not my question at all.
she wants to be a fashion model, high fashion model, but she's like eating all the time. So the question is, you know, I don't know.
My question was more existential. Like, you've been marked as a baker for life. Your parents are both bakers because they have a slice of cake and a tiered
Did we see-
wedding cake or something
We didn't
stamped
see
on
the
there.
dad, her dad,
I thought he
just
was.
her mom.
I thought he was the one that was. This is gonna sound bad.
Filming.
The one that was filming the girls during the.
I thought he was just
masquerade.
like a teacher or like a principal or something.
I thought it
Or
was
just a
Bon Bon's
creeper.
dad. Just a creeper. We'll talk about him.
Just
in
a
a second. This
lurker pony.
man- Lurker pony. Yeah. Perv pony.
He has an unmarked van
Ugh.
where he keeps a TV
Yep.
and watches VHS tape of ponies that he has
Yep.
filmed, underage ponies.
And he
that
invites
he's
them back
filmed.
to his house if they'd like to watch. These are all
Well,
things
let's
that
talk
actually
about-
happen in an episode.
Yeah,
We're
like
not
because
spitballing.
I would not just make up some horrific
Mm-mm.
backstory for this series, but this is literally what is
He's not-
presented in this episode.
He is on a pony watch list. You come to learn later, he's on a pony watch list.
If any ponies move into Ponyland, he has to knock on the door and introduce
Yeah,
himself
it's kind of
right
it
away.
was a tough episode to watch, but it's an important one.
Would he have to introduce himself to all of his neighbors?
Damn it, how long
Shut
have
it
you
down.
waiting for that?
Shut it down.
This has been
Podcast
Saturday
is
Morning
over.
Cartoons.
I hate
Thank you
myself
guys
You
for
can
so
find me
listening.
on
much.
Twitter at.
Mr. Head jokes over here.
Oh boy.
Where were we? Oh, so my question was more existential than physiological. Bon Bon's been marked as like a baker, right? For life. Like, she's supposed to become a baker. She's practicing to be a baker. At least one of her parents is a baker. She wants to be a fashion model. Now, granted, we know that kids go through all sorts of different phases. Like, kids want to be astronauts, firemen, veterinarians, doctors, whatever. Doesn't mean that that's what they're going to be when they grow up. So is she destined to become a baker and stay a baker, or does she have a chance to at least try to be a fashion model?
Well, you know, we saw with Patches. I mean, Patch has like a, I mean, what does a patch mean, right? Career-wise. So
Patch just had a wound that was poorly treated.
she says she wants to be a clown, but then we also see in the intro that she plays soccer. You know, she has other interests. So I think that there's some malleability
Okay.
there when it comes to their career choice, because from what I understand in the lore,
Mhm.
the cutie mark is supposed to manifest as personality or traits that they have.
Or like a skill or a gift or
So Bon Bon is a very good,
Okay.
you know, baker and whatever, but she's a multifaceted pony. She
Interesting.
has other interests, and
So you don't have to be locked into being a baker if you have a cupcake stamped on your butt.
as far as I understand.
Cool. Sean.
Dave,
what are
are
your
you
thoughts?
telling me that that a supermodel can't also be a baker or somebody who enjoys cooking?
No, that's a good point. It can go both ways. Definitely.
She can be on the Food Network, Pony Food Network.
100%.
does that? Please tell me that exists in this world.
Of course
I
it does.
wouldn't be surprised if it existed in our world.
Wait,
I would not be surprised if there was.
What cable package are you getting?
If there was at
Dave?
least one episode on what are they on, Disney XD?
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if there was at least one episode where it was like Rachel Ray makes a special appearance as Chef
Yeah.
Cupcake Pony, whatever.
Yeah.
Is it?
Would not
But
be
is it
surprised.
really Rachel Ray, or is it Rachel Ray as a horse?
Well, she'd be a pony.
She'd be a pony. Obviously.
She'd have to be a pony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or one of the weird
Okay.
creatures they have on the new shows now, but probably a pony.
Sure, yeah.
Rachel Ray pony. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
With like a pony pun name.
Yeah, I can't think
One's
of
not
anything
coming
right
to
now,
mind,
but
yeah.
no.
Like Rachel Nay
Damn it.
Wow.
or
It's two in a
Rachel
row.
Hay.
Rachel Hay is
Rachel
good.
Hay.
Anthony Bourdain would be a good one to have on there, I think. Just traveling the world, sampling pony fare all across this great pony
Oh.
land of ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pony.
The Roman pony. Done.
What about Guy Fieri pony?
No, the worst. Mm-mm.
Really?
The
That's
worst.
basically
Is that-
Teddy at this point
He's
with
got
his
the
little mohawk.
yeah, the fancy mane.
He's like, "Welcome to Pony Flavor Country," and you're like, "Knock it the fuck off."
What's his
Hate
cutie
you.
mark?
It's just,
A bottle of
it's
hot
just
sauce.
like it's the bottle. It's a bottle of Frank's Red
It's bottle
Hot.
of Frank's Red Hot. I was born to do this. Let's go.
Born to do. Let's go.
But that's interesting though. It's like it's a skill that you have, it's a gift that you're given and a talent that you have throughout your life, but it doesn't necessarily predicate what you're going to do as a grown ass pony.
Right. I mean, if it's something you enjoy, you may want to turn it into a career, but you're not forced to.
That's good because if I'm born with a coil of hose that's leaking water emblazoned on my hindquarters, I want to not be forced to be a gardener or a hose salesman or a fireman.
That was
I don't know.
dad. Whose dad was that?
I don't know whose dad that was, but he was a sweet scuba diver. I know that.
Who was the emerald?
It's real good.
Who was the emerald colored pony? What was her name?
Was that Clover?
Because I think it was her dad. I think it was
it Clover?
Clover's dad. Was it maybe Clover's
Was it
dad?
Bright Eyes?
That would be Bright Eyes. Clover is purple.
Purple with the green cutie
Okay.
mark. So
Silver hair.
Bright Eyes is green with.
She's green with kind of
alright.
red hair.
With notebook stamp.
Yeah. So we've kind of transitioned pretty naturally into talking about the episode the Masquerade.
You want to talk Masquerade? We watched.
Yeah, you want to talk? We watched 3 episodes, but I mean, I definitely think we're kind of getting into Masquerade as well as also sort of the end of the final episode. So
It was weird because the plot the pilot doesn't really have a pony. Like the girls are not the center of that story. It's a ghost story about a pony knight.
It's a slumber party, and then there's a pony knight that shows up in a fairy tale, but then he's a ghost because he tried to fight a dragon, but then he died eventually.
Not like right away.
Not because of the dragon, just like of old age.
Eventually.
Sort of.
But he came back as like a young ghost pony.
I think he died because he ate too much, and Sean let him eat whatever he wanted.
John is just committing ponycide
Yeah.
left, right, and center.
What is it? Awful.
Equicide?
Nice.
Can we call it Equicide? Can we do that? All right,
I'll do
I'm cool
Equicide.
with that.
I like pony stuff.
Yeah. This episode was also kind of we went through sort of the roll call from the intro, and into this episode, we sort of have Bright Eyes, and she's really sort of got that know-it-all attitude, talking about how ice cream has like calcium and vitamin A.
What a
and,
message for kids. Protein.
Oh my gosh. And they are literally making the biggest ice cream sundae. It's the size of an island. Like if you were to make an ice cream sundae at a house that had like an island in their kitchen, and you were to just put
turn it
down
into a
tubs of
bowl,
ice
yeah.
cream and just turn that whole island into that giant
Or
bowl.
like a bathtub,
it
if
was-
that's what you wanted to do.
If you
But
put a
there's
bathtub on an
7
island in a
ponies
kitchen.
that
There
are
were-
eating
there
out
were
of this
7
bowl.
ponies. There were 7 ponies.
So that you need a lot of ice cream to feed that many ponies.
This is a good time to talk about how big are these ponies.
They're little.
But they're my little ponies.
Little ponies.
But how big do you think they are? Because we've seen another episode where a giant dog shows up and he's 3 times as big as the pony.
But there's also a little cat.
Right.
There's also a little cat that fits on the back of a pony.
Yeah, let's also talk about that real quick. Everything else, there are other animals that are in this
Not
show,
humans.
and those other animals are domesticated cats. Is the first one that we have. What was the cat's name? I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Was it Springfield?
Yeah, it was
Springfield. Good
Springfield.
job.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Nicely
yeah,
done.
you pulled that right out. Yeah.
This cat was pretty affectionate towards these ponies. And they just I don't know. It just seems something that nobody was willing to sort of sit in and explain. Obviously, they're not going to. It's a kids program. And I'm an adult watching a child's program, seeing the fact that they have anthropomorphic ponies with actual legitimate cats. How pissed off would you be in this world of anthropomorphic creatures to be a cat that is still just a domesticated house cat?
Yeah, they kind of got the raw deal. I think, much like Adventure Time, this show exists in a time where human civilization fell. We are no longer there.
Yeah.
And the wild ponies have reclaimed our territory and have evolved to become ice cream eating, currency dealing anthropomorphic ponies. But the cats have not evolved past that.
No.
Cats are the peak of evolution as they are, as I've been told. So
okay.
I've been
told
by cats.
I can't dispute it. Checks out.
Checks out. It's science.
More facts ahead.
I've asked Allison throughout the watching of these 3 episodes multiple times, how big or small are these ponies?
They're little ponies.
And that's the answer we're going to go with. So they're little ponies.
And their whole world is built around their size.
Sure.
Of being little ponies. Yeah. They have little cars. They have little boats.
Big TVs and small vans. Yeah.
Big vans.
They have big glasses of ice cream and sundaes.
Yeah, constantly.
Very fast metabolism.
What's interesting is that they also have ghosts. So like ghosts exist unless who was it? Bright Eyes, Patches. Who's telling the ghost story?
I can't remember actually.
I think it might have been Clover even. But regardless, like there either are ghosts, so they introduced that kind of supernatural element to it, or she was just like tripping and sleeping or whatever.
Oh, because she did speak to the ghost.
She spoke to it, and then her pal woke her up, or also woke up and was like, "Who are you talking to?" She's like, "Oh, nobody." So
might have been Starlight, but
yeah. So I don't know if the supernatural element exists or if it's just like a cool ghost story.
Beyond that, yeah. It's just a really odd episode to start the series with. But skipping ahead to
you want to talk Masquerade because it was the highest rated episode of the 26 from this series.
Sure. I mean, I'll be honest with you. The final thought that I have for this this intro episode was that I had just watched The Conjuring 2.
Oh, good.
And then I put that on, and I was like, "Where is this gonna go? Let's see." It did not go in the direction I thought.
It was weird when that ghost pony turned into a nun and just like started freaking me out.
Well, we thought it was funny too or interesting that it wasn't that it was like this dragon blows a hole in this cave, and the little night pony falls in, and then you think, oh, he's died. Like that's really dark.
Yeah,
it's like dark. No, he just like crawled out later, and the dragon was gone.
The dragon pieced out. He didn't want to be bothered.
And so now
Basil the dragon.
Yeah, he's a ghost pony who's forever searching for this dragon.
I wonder if there's a ghost dragon or if dragons live so much longer than ponies that he's just chilling somewhere.
I'll be honest though, I was at a sleepover when I was like, I don't know, 9 or 10 or something, and I told such a terrifying ghost story. It was called The Silk Bird of Tokyo. And it was really scary. And my friends were all in this one room together. And my friend who was hosting the sleepover, her dad came in really late, like into the house. And when he opened the door, everyone screamed and like ran into the parents' room. So this felt very real to me when I was watching this. I was like, I am the person telling that terrifying ghost story and communing with the ghosts, evidently.
I like
while my pony friends all, are terrified.
Stay tuned for a Saturday morning cartoon spin-off, Allison Keene, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Yeah.
Wow.
That'd be good.
You said it was the Silk Bird of Tokyo?
Did you make it up?
Yeah. That was really scary.
I want to hear this.
Sounds like an Agatha Christie thing. Silk Bird of Tokyo.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that I like peaked as like a 4th grader.
Well,
honestly, like just creativity. I can't even speak now.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So, Masquerade. Speaking of creativity, the ponies were given a chance to be super creative in this one because they passed a math test? Question?
I guess
they got to have a party because they all passed the test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how it worked when you went to school?
Did they tell? No. I was very curious about. This is a world that has domesticated cats, evidently has real ghosts, and like as a result of real ghosts existing, that means that there have to be real dragons that live in this world as well.
The ghost is real, dragons probably real.
So, logically that goes. But then I draw the line is everybody gets.
You equate they're ghosts and dragons, and also domesticated cats.
Yeah, But I'll be honest with you, Allison. Where I draw the line is throwing a party because everybody did well on an exam. I was like,
Ponyland is a
that
great place
seemed
to
ludicrous.
I like when your hard work is actually rewarded, and none of this garbage of like the reward is a job well done.
But it was still like a learning opportunity.
Yeah,
the masquerade was like, where are you going to be in 10 years, ponies? So come as your future career.
Yeah, it was a great way to break down the morale of one particular pony and just crush her self-confidence, which was super cool of them to do.
They didn't mean to.
No, they didn't mean to, but that's what happened.
And then they all piled on Patch at the end.
Yeah,
and they were like, so, okay. Basically what happens. Bon Bon wants to be a fashion model.
Yeah, passed a math test. Yeah. We get in a masquerade party.
Get a masquerade party. They are supposed to come as what they want to be.
Right, costume party, yeah.
So, one's a doctor.
We've had Bon Bon at this point do like a montage, like a montage in her room of what she wants to be, which like those were a lot of risque poses, it seemed like.
Thoughts and feelings and questions.
There were. And she's singing about the fact about like, I want to be a model and wear jeans, and I'm like, you're not wearing any pants. Like, put some pants on.
Here is the ultimate clothing question for My Little Pony. These ponies put clothes on. When they take them off, are these ponies naked?
I think all clothing are just accessories. Okay. Like, it's not clothing as we see it. Okay. It's just like adding on to what they already have.
So it'd be like if I'm wearing clothes, and then I put a cool coat on, and then I put a scarf on, and then I put a hat on.
Yeah. But if you take off a hat and a scarf, it's not like, oh, he's naked. Like, you're still wearing clothes.
All right.
These are just accessories.
All right, so everything's accessories.
I'm sorry, that was not the question I thought you were going to ask.
What do you think I was going to ask?
I thought you were going to ask the question, if they're putting on pants, do they put them on the back 2 legs, or do they put them on all 4 legs?
Well, they walk on 2 legs, so I think that sometimes,
and then sometimes they run in the river.
But sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
I can't. In this world, is a pony with no humans? A pony is no longer a beast of burden or a manner of conveyance. Nobody's riding ponies or hitching them to anything.
No.
However, when they want to run, or they're just lazy, or they need to carry stuff elsewhere, they walk on all 4s.
We saw
or
them
they
running.
Want to jankily animated off the screen, then they walk on all 4s.
Jankopotamus off screen, yeah.
They dance on 2 legs.
They dance on 2 legs. They sit at the tables, obviously, on 2 legs. They eat ice cream and everything on 2 legs.
They can cross their legs, too.
They can cross their pony legs.
Bar stools, they had crossed.
Mm-hmm. A lot of questions. I feel like I like your answer of the accessories, and the rest of it's just like pony hide. Totally fine.
Yeah.
Which you still have to shower, apparently. Sticky situation, but that's fine.
Yeah, I think that has to
When you guys had sleepovers as little kids, did the other parents ever make you shower?
No, we never had a group shower or even like multiple random go and shower, you 7-year-old.
Never.
What? No. You showered when you got home.
Yeah.
Weird.
No, we never. That was not a
thing. I think the mom that said, "All right, girls, time to shower," was the parent with the dad who was like, "I'm just going to film these girls at the masquerade individually."
I don't think he was a dad.
Well, if he's not, that's even worse.
He's a teacher.
That's
like
much
the principal.
Worse. Should be fired and put on a watch list.
Anyway, so Bon Bon wants to be a fashion model. And she's afraid that her friends are going to make fun of her for this dream that she has because she doesn't have self-confidence.
But I agree with Sean that some of those shots were risque. The beach shots.
They are. They're a little mature for a pony her age.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say. But she's being influenced by Pony Media.
Yeah, Pony Media is ruthless for these little ponies.
Yeah. So anyway.
Cruel mistress.
So, her mom comes in and is like, I think you are overdoing the look. You've got on like 12 bracelets. And
you got a lot of bangles.
Whatever.
Your armor class is like plus 27. You gotta calm it down.
So she gets her all sorted out. She's like, they bake some cookies. They go to the dance. Everybody's already there. But when she walks in, everyone is making fun of Patch, who is a clown.
Yep.
But Bon Bon, in her insecurity, thinks that everyone's talking about her.
And they do a great cut of like Bon Bon coming in at the exact moment that everybody's laughing, but it's like that. It's that typical kind of surround scene where everybody's lined up and everybody's leering and sneering and jeering. Anything else that rhymes with that.
Come back to that.
And then we'll talk about Patch too. But it's that like very vulnerable moment where you think everyone is looking and pointing and staring at you and laughing and criticizing, and she's just like crushed in that instant and takes off.
So her mom goes to look for her, can't find her. Everybody goes on a search. She's somehow ended up on a cliff.
She runs where I often run when I'm distraught, to the nearest cliff.
Yeah.
That overlooks a road roughly 10 feet above.
But here's the thing. So everyone is, and we'll get to the video camera in a second. But first, so Bon Bon's on this cliff. They're trying to like talk her down, like.
Yeah. With a spotlight shining in her eyes.
They're like, she's like, everyone made fun of me, and they're like, no, we weren't making fun of you. We were making fun of Patch. Everyone's like, I called Patch a dumb bitch or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They got like, I told Patch that she was a stupid. Like one of them calls her dumb.
Yeah.
One of them calls her like,
whatever calls her dumb.
Like, no, I said Patch had a stupid costume. It was like, no, I said that Patch, and it was just like, oh, we were all just like piling on Patch.
Yeah.
She doesn't say anything, and Bonbon's like, oh, all right, cool. So she comes down, everything's fine, everyone's fine. I'm like, what about Patch though?
Meanwhile,
like,
Patch. Ooh.
Ugh,
keep an eye on her.
That was rough.
But she says she's like, I try really hard to be
dumb and silly.
Yeah.
Well, she says like I try really
dumb. Like,
I try. She said like I said my costume was silly, and they're like, yeah, I thought it looked really dumb. And everyone's like, yeah, hers is weird. It's like there's a difference between like laughing with Patch and just like
straight piling on her.
Ripping her apart, which is evidently what they were doing. So like, don't worry, Bon Bon, we were just eviscerating Patch, not you.
Yeah, in Ponyland, it's got to be tough.
Pony World. But in any case, that was all that. Now to go back.
Well, and then speaking of go back, real quick, they went back into the dance.
Oh, that's right.
And Bon Bon's now wearing her sweet fashion model hat. That's all she wore, by the way. Like hat and what?
No,
like a necklace?
She did not have the hat on.
No, she
had the necklace and some bracelets.
She didn't.
And she walked in looking fine, I'm going to say. She looked fine.
Jeez. Oh, boy.
She had those curls going.
I don't know where this voice is coming from, but I'm loving everything that you're doing right now.
Curl fine.
Looking real fine.
But she knew it too. Like she walked in and she had that.
She knew it. She was asking.
No, my God, that's not what I said.
Jesus, house. Yeah, she was just strutting that flank.
Yeah, flanks akimbo.
Throwing that cutie mark left, right, and
she was. That cutie mark was all over the place. That teacher was watching with the video camera. I'm telling you.
Anyway, so then God. Lancer, I believe, the nice little Boy Scout pony,
Scout,
asks her to dance.
Yeah,
and they do.
I think he was the one that like led the charge into the woods and found her. Well,
he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Good guy,
Lancer. Not so good guy is creepy dad teacher pony with a camcorder, a van with a TV in it. Weirdly has a spotlight for like looking for lost ponies.
So he was filming the girls as they dance. That was part of it. And then he wanted to use that videotape evidence to show Bon Bon that like people weren't laughing at her. They were laughing at Patch.
Yeah.
So he was like, come on, everybody, into my unmarked van.
Mm-hmm.
And they do. And then when they find Bon Bon, he's like, look, I'll show you. And he reveals that there is a giant TV in the van where he can play back the tapes to show her that everyone was making fun of Patch.
The weird thing was when he fast forwarded past like an hour and a half worth of footage of ponies changing clothes and trying on different costumes. No. That was weird to me. I thought that was an unnecessary thing to include.
I love that we've prefaced this entire conversation with the fact that this is a show that actually taught lessons, and within like the 10 to 11 minute span, there was a decent amount of story that was in there. But I'm just really proud of us for staying on message and on brand as a podcast of sticking to the stuff that's just really, truly the most terrible part of what these shows are about. So kudos to us, guys.
We did it.
Like, let's get some ice cream sundaes. Let's throw our own masquerade party. Let's do this, guys.
Woo. I love it. Was there anybody else who dressed up as anything weird or anything that was like...
Yeah, hell yeah, there was.
What was there? Because Bright Eyes was like
you fucking kidding me, man?
This is where Bright Eyes is like, I'm going to be an environmentalist.
Yeah,
people were like,
the best one.
That? What are you going to look like? She just looked like a hiker, like an REI salesman.
Yeah. I mean, what's wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like, what?
I thought that it was actually incredible that then that sort of idea of environmentalism carried over into the final episode of the series. Who's responsible? So for me, I was like,
Sean?
what a great way to kind of bridge the gap between those two episodes. Really, really proud of them for kind of being like, you know what? Environmentalism is a thing, and trash and litter is a problem, and everybody can help. And I was just, that was kind of cool. I mean, to see that I mean, most notably the biggest cartoon that talks about it, is definitely Captain Planet. We've even had extreme portions of cartoons in a very heavy-handed manner talk about it. Digimon, I'm looking at you. Which you would never imagine that would be something that would be in that show, but then all of a sudden the entire reason that there's this weird place is because of like pollution and problems that they're having on Earth. And so to have this be something that's happening in 1993, I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm on board. I'm glad that they're talking about it.
It's pretty organic, I think, within the story. And then the finale, the fact that like it slowly builds up this whole thing where there's a pollution problem and they immediately think it's like the big corporations, industries, and they kind of leads them on this little cute little spy missions and stuff, and then it finds out like no, they're all trash ponies and they're just throwing trash into the river all the time.
These are the trashiest trash ponies you've ever seen.
Yeah, but it was kind of a cool realization. It's like, oh, we're the problem. And
I actually really enjoyed it. Sean was joking earlier about how we said they have good lessons and good morals and stuff. In The Masquerade, they do a really good job of showing how vulnerable and upset Bon Bon was, and then showing how all the ponies rally around her, explain that what she perceived is not what actually happened, and that they're sorry if that's how she felt, but that they love her and they're supportive, and that's great, because that's honestly what the entire franchise of My Little Pony is about. It's about being supportive and being friends and being able to talk to each other about all this stuff.
Support and positivity.
Exactly.
Unless you're Patches, because then your costume's dumb.
Yeah.
And then you pile on Patches.
Stupid.
Pile on the poor pony. Yep. But then in Who's Responsible, I really was impressed with the way that they handled the story, because it was heavy-handed, but at the same time they were sort of deflecting the kind of typical story. Like Allison said, oh, it's big corporations, it's these greedy business owners. There were no people like that. There were no ponies like that. There were like simple delivery men. There were small business owners, people just trying to like make a buck, but also
school books and ice cream.
Yeah, school books and ice cream, and provide everything to the ponies of Ponyland. Yeah.
So I love the rule of 3 that they have in this, and it's phenomenal. This comedy rule of 3 that for some reason they felt the need to adhere to this principle, with 2 ponies having a stakeout to the ice cream factory, and for like 2 seconds I was like, please let this sting operation yield results.
Yeah.
Please,
I was
please let this right?
Like a Soylent Green situation, yeah.
Oh no, I was thinking like a buddy cop pony comedy where they kind of uncover something, like a greater conspiracy.
But see, that we're so like entrenched in that idea of like, yeah, they're gonna find something, because obviously these big corporations don't care about the environment, so they're just gonna be dumping stuff. But that's not what
it was kind of the twist, is that they weren't really.
No, they were actually being super responsible. Yeah.
Well, they these 2 ponies stow away on a delivery truck that looks like it has. It looks like it has
it's like barrels
things
of
toxic waste, like you have barrels of like toxic waste or trash, and you're thinking to yourself like, they open it up and like you still can't. And I think it was pistachio ice cream was the first one, which is green. Which if you're looking at it, with these bright colors on the screen, you're just like, oh shit, they found toxic they found some toxic stuff in here.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was just like, please let this turn into a weird trauma version of everything.
Oh, that would have been
everything that's on screen right now. That would have been crazy. But no, they continued just eating everything. Like second beat, they're staking out the factory that makes school books, and then in the third beat, they come to the realization that it's 2 ponies just sitting near the stream. And at that point, I got to the point I realized in my brain, for these 2.5 episodes I'd watched that point, there really only is ice cream and stuff related to the school. I was like, I don't think that they've created any other industry that's here.
That's it.
And so that third beat, they were just like, we got nothing. Just throw something into the river. It was so tertiary, and you could tell they wanted to get out of it. Like the person who must have been animating the pony walking up and sitting down must have been like, does this even matter, guys? This doesn't matter, does it? We're just gonna throw a CD case.
What I like though is that like Melody didn't learn the lesson immediately, right? Like she kept throwing stuff into the street afterwards.
They ended this thing with a song, which is important. We haven't talked about the songs yet, and like a montage with Melody. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she gets it. I mean, she's continuing to throw stuff in the streets. She's throwing stuff in the river, and Bright Eyes is getting really, really mad at her. But So I kind of liked that. Like they were all just like, oh, we shouldn't be throwing trash. She's like, no, this is a habit that I'm still in.
Right.
And at the very, very end, it shows her cleaning up a little piece of trash.
Right before they jankily walk down the street.
Yeah.
That's the final shot of this thing. I got to say, one of my favorite moments, other than the songs, is when on the second stakeout, I believe, they think that the dude who is delivering the textbooks delivers them to a pier. And it looks like he's paying off the dude that works the pier to like dump all these textbooks in the water. So who was it?
Oh, God. I think it's Patch, yeah.
Patch, like, throws her, like, spy glasses to the side, dives into the river.
She's like, I knew it, a
handoff, a payoff. And she dives into the river, jumps up on the deck, and then just, like, completely tackles this poor dude, rolls him over, like, twice, and then tries to make a citizen's arrest. And then
she actually puts cuffs on her.
She had cuffs with her. And then the camera kind of, like, pans back to reveal that not only is Textbook Horse, who I think has a textbook on his rump, was, like, just bringing these textbooks to Recycle Horse, who has recycle arrows on his hindquarters. He's just like, this was messed up, though, because he was like, can you read the sign? And she was like, well, not really. So not only is she a trash clown who everybody dumps on, she's illiterate, and she goes to school every day. I was a little upset
They established that early on that she's not a good student, though.
They said she wasn't great at math, but she still passed.
She can't read.
She still passed.
She got a B+.
But she can't read.
Can't read. Can't you read the sign? She's like,
She couldn't read after 26 episodes.
Whoever she was with, I think it might have been Clover. She was like, and Clover read it out.
Clover read it. She's like, I'm not a dum-dum. I'm a little, I feel bad for Patch. Go ahead.
Did you notice for Recycle Pony that it wasn't the actual real Recycle?
No, it was a dot with 2 arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, like who were they concerned about? Like, oh man, I really hope the Recycling Commission doesn't sue us for Recycle Pony.
Or was there a time, I haven't done my 3 R's history in a while.
No.
Was there a time where it was only 2?
Reuse, renew, and close the loop.
Nice. But was there a time where it was only 2 R's?
I don't think so.
Because it was reduce, reuse, and recycle for me.
Yeah, same.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't have one in Pony Time.
Maybe it wasn't reduce. Maybe it was just recycle and reuse.
Yeah, maybe. Because they're like reducing. That's on the company's side. We ain't gonna mess with that.
Ooh.
But then, I liked it. So they had a montage. They had a song, which we didn't talk about. In the first episode, there was a song too.
There's always a song.
The first song was about
there
how
was a song in every
how
episode.
things in the dark are scarier, but as soon as you see them in the light, they're not that bad.
Right.
Because it was when things in the attic were like scaring them. They thought they saw the dragon and the ghosts and all that. So yeah, each of the episodes had a song. It was pretty cute.
Yeah, and it didn't go on for too long.
No.
It was short, it was relevant, it was plot driving for the
Looking
most
at you,
part.
groovy ghoulies. Awful.
Really calling out a lot of other cartoons.
That just conjured up
this
really bad
episode
memories for me.
Man, yeah.
But yeah, they were short and to the point and moved the plot forward, so it was cute. You know?
Yeah, it was really well done, and the story was solid too. They took it in a way I didn't expect, and then they made it very clear and apparent that everybody has a hand in both polluting and cleaning up pollution. Also scuba diving, which was neat.
Yeah.
Anything else from the episodes? Does anybody have any questions? I still have questions.
Yeah, let's get into questions, Dave. What do you got?
I guess the only ones that I have left are, why does Ponyland flood? Like,
because of the trash.
I mean, I know why. Like, I know the mechanism.
But that's not how flooding. That's not how flooding
well,
works.
around
though,
here,
Allison.
Let's get dangerously close. But
really,
yeah, pretty bad around here.
It created an artificial dam essentially
in Big Pony Bend. Yep.
In Big Pony Bend, and so the creek flooded 5 feet of water, evidently, into the entire town.
If Pony willing and the creek don't rise, but unfortunately,
they might have had a lot of rain recently, and the ground was already saturated, and they have runoff because they have roads. So
it's
you
true.
know,
it's true. It's poor civil engineering in Ponyland. But I'm just wondering, are they in like a low-lying area? Do they not know about global warming, climate change? Is this not a thing?
I mean, Bright Eyes is trying to educate them. You know,
She's trying. She's a little slow though. I do love when a pony has to paddle her bed over to the window to be rescued though. That's pretty hilarious.
That was bad.
Yeah.
I guess everything's fine in Ponyland, but that was the last episode, so we don't know if they dried out or if they moved. If
I'm
FEMA
assuming
came
they
in
figured
and
it out
decimated the whole place
and put them in smaller trailers.
God, and then they got
that were not up to
horse
code.
trailers.
Oh no,
Pony trailers.
Yeah.
And then they got the disease. I'm
Foot
really
mouth.
upset right now. Oh, hoof and mouth. Nicely done.
How did you not see that one
I
coming?
don't know. I'm so
Come
upset
on.
about Patch. Is it Patch
I
or
was
Patches?
so excited to
Patch.
have
It's Patch. Okay.
Patch.
Red eyes.
So let's talk about doorknobs.
Okay. There we go.
Why do they have doorknobs in this world and civilization? Because they don't really have
Nope.
Everything should be saloon
thumbs.
doors.
Yeah, everything should be saloon doors, but yet they're emphatic about putting doorknobs on
Spoons.
every single
They have
door.
spoons.
They have spoons.
Yeah, they have at one point when we have Bon Bon who's writing in her
Yeah.
journal with a pencil and she's holding that pen, and it just looks like. And guys, if you don't know what a horse's hoof looks like without the actual hoof, don't Google it. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
I made that mistake
Mhm.
once. They need that hoof, but those hoofs can't bend in
Back to the podcast.
on themselves, which is what they're doing in this. Like their hoof.
They don't even
is
have
just
like a hoof though. They
bend-
just have
it's
like a stump. You think they've evolved to the point if they're anthropomorphized? Do you think they've evolved to the point that they? I don't know. I can't tell you.
Dave,
What
at
their
that point, can
anatomical-
we call them ponies anymore? If they've evolved beyond that, are they still horses?
They're My Little Ponies. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's a species unto themselves.
They are, yeah. I mean, just their physiology is different
Mhm.
from, I mean,
Yep.
they have those little trunk legs instead of like the, the
Yep.
little fetlock
Mhm.
and the
We've got immaculate mane and tail hair going on.
beautiful,
Beautiful, all different colors.
colors.
Gorgeously kept. Sometimes a mullet of hair, but that's fine. You do what you got to do.
we never see any of them have to do any type of horseshoeing at some
and
point
there's
in
no
time,
grooming either, which is
yeah,
interesting.
you would think it's very, very peculiar, especially for a show that seems to want to teach a moral or a lesson, and also in the first episode has the shower time comment. That makes me curious.
I don't know if
Stay
curious is the
clean,
right word, but
you know?
yeah.
Ponies
Well,
need to
especially
stay
when
clean.
I mean, if little kids are watching it, like if the ponies are showering, you should shower too. Like that's probably a tactic that was used multiple times.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do they brush their
Well, I feel like
I don't know. They probably should.
Huh.
Them pony teeth.
let me clarify, Dave. I'm not curious enough to Google it.
Definitely
I'm
don't.
only curious enough to have the question and then just leave it
Never
there.
ever.
Throw it out into the world, and then I'm never asking
Never
it again.
ever.
I feel like a lot of those questions actually would have been answered if we'd watched like more episodes.
The other
'Cause they
23
do some
episodes.
like pretty typical like kid
Yeah,
stuff.
everyday kid stuff.
Everyday
Yeah.
kid stuff. So we probably
There's
would have
probably
seen
a dirty
them-
dirty patch episode.
I was
Yeah.
thinking more like you just would see them like brushing their teeth. Or
Ugh.
something.
Yeah, because Patch is dirty.
I don't think she's third.
I think they're gonna make Patch dirty. I feel bad for Patch.
I think Pat.
Somebody out there, let me
She's
know
gonna
how
be
Patch.
a super spy.
Is she a super spy?
She's the one that had
Super
the
spy to be
Supermodel.
a clown.
she had the citizen's arrest in the.
She cray.
What?
Patch cray.
What the heck
Somebody
is
out there who's
happening?
been keeping up on Patch, keeping tabs, let me know. Make sure she's not in that creeper's van.
Are we sure there's not a BuzzFeed list like My Little
Oh
Ponies?
my god, there's gotta
Where
be,
are
but I
they
don't want
now?
to Google it. I do not want to fall into that den.
Hey Dave, what My Little Pony would you be out of
Here's a
this-
good question. So this is
series
what I
of
wanted to
7?
ask before we get to our love it and hate it for tonight. So I want to ask you guys, and I'll answer this as well. What is your cutie mark? And what is your My Little Pony name?
Well,
Uh-oh.
I feel like Allison has thought about this, so I'm excited to hear your response.
so I play violin.
Yep.
And I think that my cutie mark would be a little fiddle,
Little fiddle.
violin.
Nice.
And I think that my name would be Sunbeam.
You think Sunbeam?
Yeah.
You're going to go Sunbeam even though you have a fiddle cutie mark.
It doesn't have to.
It
correlate
doesn't.
Exactly.
I was just, okay. Sunbeam. Sunbeam's cute. I like it.
Well,
Little fiddle.
I did tell Dave earlier because I was brainstorming this is that I thought that Fiddlestick was a cute name,
I
and
like
Dave
Fiddlesticks.
thought that
Oh,
that
that's a
was
fun
not
one.
a good pony name.
I thought it was cute, but I
That's a fun one.
preferred Stradivarius.
I said that's definitely not a My Little Pony name.
I
Fiddlesticks
want-
is an
Jesus
adorable
I
My
want
Little Pony name.
my ponies to be classy, highbrow.
God.
What the fuck is happening?
Oh boy.
All right, Sean, what's yours? What's your cutie mark there, cutie?
Masquerades turned to Eyes Wide Shut
Well,
situation.
it's Stanley Kubrick?
Kubrick this up,
Kubrick's
buddy.
My Little Pony. Oh,
my little Kubrick.
There's
my
your
little
nightmare fuel for the night. Yikes. What's your cutie mark?
Yeah.
I'd say it would probably be a video game controller, and my name would be Byte, like BYT.
I really
Yeah.
like that a lot,
Yeah, that's
actually.
very
Yeah.
good.
Are you talking
Nailed
like
it.
a classic old school, like one stick controller? Like one
Either
joystick.
a one stick or like an NES.
I like it.
Like a 4-directional 2-button guy would probably be that.
Right.
Or maybe you know what? I'll say this. It'd be the Super Nintendo controller. That was my favorite.
I mean,
controller.
I think that would fit better with your contours back there. So.
Yeah. Plus, at the time that this came out, that was probably the most popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And no, I get the fat joke, Dave. Thanks.
I just meant because you're.
My contours.
Your horse rump. There's no
Don't shame
such
him.
thing
We've
as a
been
fat
through
horse.
this with Bon Bon.
And Patch.
Yeah.
Patch.
Guys, I wanted to be a gamer horse. Now I just feel that's stupid.
No, we never said that. We weren't talking about you. We were talking about stupid ass Patch.
Dave, what would you be,
I'm
buddy?
torn now between a.
Natalie Imbruglia?
Yeah, don't get me started.
Torn?
I'll do the whole mime routine.
Oh, Jesus.
Look that up if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm torn between like an Erlenmeyer Flask.
Ooh.
Oh, should I be Heisenberg? My Little Pony Heisenberg?
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Or I was originally going to go with just like a sweet ass like Skull and Crossbones and just be like the pale horse of the ponies.
Oh.
This is not on brand for My Little
It's
Pony.
not, which is why this is not the show for me. But
You could have done a skull and just been like called Rebel.
I'm okay with that. That seems a little
Oh,
forced.
that's so cute.
Okay, I guess
It's
that's
a
like
little
a-
bandana.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it also could have been like a heart, but it had like a switchblade in it, and you could have been like Rebel.
That's
Yeah.
more like a
'cause that
tattoo. It says mom on the side.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah,
have like
I
a
know.
little
Okay,
anchor,
but, like,
a
that
little
would've been-
anchor, and then you have...
I'm a Navy bandit tattooed mom sailor. The pony.
And we call you Dockside.
Dark side of the moon. I'm losing it
I like
tonight.
Rebel. That's cute.
You like Rebel? Okay,
Wow.
so I'm now Rebel the pony. I'm no longer Heisenberg the chemistry pony.
Rebel,
Nice.
Bite, and Fiddlesticks.
Guys, we're ponies. We got our own little
Sean's gonna have to
corral.
re-clarify that he is not, in fact.
So
Guys,
Fine.
I am not in favor. I just want to pull up a mask and be BoJack. I still want to do it.
Rory, if you're listening, we're gonna need.
Do not,
We're gonna
Rory.
need these
Do
all
not do
drawn
this, Rory. Do
up relatively
not.
quickly. So
Son
Rebel,
of a bitch.
Fiddlesticks, and Bite, if you could. We need to be ponies.
I want beautiful hair.
She's gonna have beautiful hair. I think I want a mohawk. Mohawk?
I guess for Rebel, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Got to.
Definitely.
Is Sean? Are you still ginger? You ginger pony?
I'm ginger, but I'm bald.
It's the saddest pony.
just gonna. But I've got a beard.
that
I'm a pony with a
hairless
beard.
Oh, I don't know if I want to see a pony with a beard.
Pony with a beard. Whatever, man. It's my
It is your
pony.
pony. Rory, do whatever he wants.
Guys, we're talking about Roy Lucy, our wonderful graphics artist who has done all of the artwork that you see for Saturday morning cartoons,
Including our pony suite.
Rory.
That's about to happen.
Roy. Please do,
Do it, Rory. All right. So, anything else from My Little Pony Tales before we head to Love It, Hate It for the night?
Let's do these love and
All right,
hate
Sean,
it.
what do you got for our Love It tonight?
All right, I got Kitsy-2 from Canada back in 2008. We have 8 out of 10 stars. It says a different kind of pony. So this series is often a love-hate issue. For those looking for pure remake of the original series, they are disappointed. For those looking for something different, they love it.
Yeah. Hold on.
Just buckle up.
That logic is
In short,
Mhm.
yeah. In short, this is actually an anthropomorphic series, very well done, with the ponies having a developed culture, history, and social structure, mirroring humans in some ways, but different enough in others. Small details such as soccer teams wearing different color leg warmers to represent their teams, or the transition from quadrupedal locomotion to bipedal and back make the series something special. And I want to say this, it says many, but it's pronounced M-E-N-Y.
It sure
Right
is.
after they say quadrupedal
so-
locomotion.
Well,
I
they
know
also
that.
said
Yeah.
anthrophorpic or forfic.
Yeah,
So
anthropomorphic.
Sean
Forfic.
So,
corrected that one. Go ahead, bud.
So, yeah, meanie of the topics are too mature for then younger audiences. Dating, boys' trouble, and a lot of the dialogue often uses terms and such more suitable to a young adult audience. But by far, the animation as well as the storylines are some of the best. The songs are okay, and for the 10 to 12-year-old, the concept and issues will mean more than random violence or slapstick humor of other cartoons.
Not bad.
So as I love it, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that was
It kind of feels lukewarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the most love it
Yeah,
I
they
could
had
find for
some-
these.
Some criticisms there that
They did. I would heavily criticize their writing and grammar, but other than that, I get it.
I think they brought up some solid points though, so fair enough.
Well, let's compare it to the Hate It, and let's find out where this goes. Because this is from We. It's supposed to be like We Are Young, but it's spelled We You're Young from United States. This guy's real clever. You can tell right off the bat. This is titled "Oh God, This Is Worse Than Friendship Is Magic." This is from 2013, by the way. My Little Pony is an 80s cartoon that blew with very bright backgrounds and colors, ugly-looking ponies that look like rejected horses, music that a music critic would rate low than 5, awful script, and voice actors that just make me want to press the mute button on YouTube.
I just want to pause and say that, like, they're willing to say a critic would rate it lower than a 5.
Well, he would.
Out of what?
They would rate it low than 5.
Right, but 5 out of what?
Who
I don't
knows?
know, but it
5
seems at
ponies?
least mediocre.
5 hooves?
5 out of 13 horseshoes.
5 out of 13 banana split. I love that they're watching on YouTube just like we were.
Yeah.
He's just like us. Now, because the other cartoons wasn't enough, they now brought up MLP Tales, an inglorious piece of sheet show. Because IMDb don't allow swears, I'll call it average. Because shit wasn't strong enough word. I might hate it. MLP fans may enjoy it, but that's not a good thing. The animation is much worse. So are the ponies. I'm glad this is no longer alive, because if it airs back on television, I'll be like, oh, this is not good, son. I swear I am not in to get any more nightmares. 1 out of 10 stars.
This is a psychologist could just have a field day with everything that's happening here.
I hope We Are Young. I hope this is a translation. I just hope it's a poor translation from like Google Translate or something, because I'm concerned.
It is a piece of sheet, though.
It is a piece of sheet.
And he says average is a stronger word than.
Look, I just want to be so upset about something that I have to come out and say, "Oh, this is not good, son." I want to feel that strongly about
this is not good, son.
Oh, this is not good, son.
I'm glad it's not alive anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad this show is so
I'm
dead.
glad Sean let them eat whatever they wanted.
That's so confusing. It makes it sound like at some point there was a video of them like old yellering this show. No. Like, to the glue factory with you, MLP Tales.
Well, now that is a fantastic transition to whether or not we recommend it, and if not, if this show gets the dip. Now, Allison, just as a reminder, and to our listeners out there, if we give a show the dip, that means it is erased from all existence for all time. So,
hell no.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight again for our special cute cartoon animal critter hour. Do you recommend My Little Pony Tales, and if not, does it get the dip?
I do recommend it with the caveat of saying that it is obviously meant for a particular age group, sure. And I think that actually with that age group, it would resonate with some, good stories. I mean, I remember hanging out with my friends and like we would talk about these episodes and these characters and like talk about which ones were our favorites or things that we liked or didn't like about the episode. So, for girls of a certain age, I think that, or boys, whatever.
35-year-old men, whatever.
Sure. I think that it's a cute and positive cartoon.
Fantastic. That's a glowing recommendation. Sean, buddy, what about you?
This is tough.
Really?
Well, because I don't have the frame of reference. Like this is something that, I wasn't a young girl during the time.
I am learning so much about you.
Not a horse.
On this episode.
And
I'm not a
horse. I'm not a young girl. This is a really difficult episode. I would recommend this show with the obvious caveat that Allison brought up, that it's for people of a specific age group, that this is something that I think has a positive message and actually has a relatively decent story sometimes. Is this something I'm going to go back and watch? I don't think so. But am I glad that I watched the 3 episodes that we watched tonight? Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah, as for me, I'm actually going to go with a strong recommendation for it, because honestly, they handle the stories really well. They do it in a short amount of time, so you're not going to be, you're not investing hours upon hours into this stuff. But
right,
it is meant for a younger audience, but at the same time, the people who are currently making decisions that affect things like pollution, environmental regulations, things like that, have forgotten these most basic, very obvious, common sense lessons. And it's sort of like, please go back and watch a children's cartoon to remember how to be like a decent human being again. And it's crazy to me how we've had, now Sean and I have looked back on many, many decades worth of cartoons, and you see the same messages kind of over and over again. And they try to package it in a different way, and Some messages get through to some people better than others, but it just feels like we need to kind of go back to like a more innocent time when we were able to receive these messages better than we are today with so much noise that goes around. I'm not saying
a less cynical
point
of view as well.
A less cynical point of view, and watching something like My Little Pony Tales, you can't really be cynical while watching this. And if you are, then you're already probably a lost cause. Because these things are so cute and fun and supportive and friendly, and you just need something more like that on TV today. So it's 25 years old, but it's still as relevant as ever. And the best thing about it is it has continued the franchise of My Little Pony, so there are more to enjoy for other people out there. And we may be enjoying them in the future if we can convince Sean to watch more series.
I mean, I'll watch them. I'll watch them.
I'm just saying there should be a pony suite, because I think there are 4 or 5 at least different iterations of the ponies. And I think that it would be interesting to see, in light of My Little Pony Tales, start comparing the versions and what works and what didn't if they learned things fast. Yeah. There's also a version that came out before My Little Pony Tales that ran for just a short time, and I believe actually used to be the intro for My Little Pony Tales. Like they would run an old series, and then
it would block.
Yeah, and then it would turn into My Little Pony Tales. So in my mind, I mean, I haven't watched the other series, forever, so I don't know if I'm sort of confusing the two, like the 2 koala shows that were so similar. But let's do a pony suite.
It sounds like there's enough for a month, so maybe My Little Pony might be coming up.
Shut it down.
My Little Pony.
Shut it. Throw away the key. Throw away the key.
I like it. Listeners out there, let us know, especially bronies or friends of bronies. Let us know. We're all about it. I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. So, Allison, once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Where can the folks out there
thank you, Allison,
find you on social media and other places on the internet?
My day job is as a senior editor and TV critic for Collider.com, so you can find me there. I'm also on Twitter at Keene TV. That's KEENE TV.
Fantastic. Sean, buddy, where can the folks find you?
Hey guys, as always, I do live improv comedy in Washington, D.C. with a group that is called Nox. That's NOX exclamation point. You can check, we perform with Washington Improv Theater, and you can check out times and buy tickets at witdc.org. And I'm also on Instagram and Twitter at Sean Paul Ellis.
Woo! And if you're looking for me, you can find me on Collider.com, Nerdist.com, and DaveTrumbore.com. If you're looking for more Saturday morning cartoons, fun, and action, you can check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/Saturday morning cartoons. Remember, that's morning with a U. Like in, give me a pony with a U.
I mean, just like off the cuff pony.
Sunbeam. With a U, just like Sunbeam.
Oh, boy.
You can also check out our website, SaturdayMorningCartoons.com. Find us on Twitter at MorningToons. Check out Sean's handiwork on our Instagram page. There should be a very fun series of pictures from this episode going up. You can also keep the conversation going on Facebook and listen to our free audio podcast each and every week through YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. As always, if you have recommendations or suggestions, feel free to send us an email, SaturdayMorningCartoons@gmail.com. Buddy, what do we have coming up next week?
Oh, man. Next week is we have another guest of ours, a friend of the show, who is coming on, and he's going to be talking about an alien life form from the planet Melmac.
May surprise you to learn that this particular character also had an animated series. We're not talking about puppets or cat-eating aliens, at least not in the live-action sense. So this will be an interesting one.
Yeah.
We need to ask Jamal what his cutie mark is without giving him a heads up.
Oh, why would... He's going to be... If he knows what we're talking about, I'm going to be very worried. I'm going to be very worried. Be the start of a great show.
Fantastic. And this is the end of a great show. So thank you so much for listening to Saturday Morning Cartoons. We will see you next time.
Hey, everybody. Thanks a lot for listening to Saturday Morning Cartoons. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to transform and roll out.